Hi folks, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. Welcome to the next video on Jetpack Compose. So far in the previous video what we have seen is how to create a card and how to create a lazy column and populate it with a scrollable list. And what we have also done is passed it from a JSON and made this particular list pretty exhaustive. There are almost around 250 cards in this scrollable list of countries information that we are having. Now, just having this scrollable list is of not much use to us. We would like to do more than that. For example, I may want to filter the countries based on say region, and probably I want to do search functionality added to it, and then probably I want to sort the list by name. So we want to do more than just simply scroll through a list which is quite huge. Now, how do we do this? Well, there is a mechanism using which we can achieve it, and if we attempt to do that, this is how it would look. If you observe, the only difference between the two screens is in the second screen I have a small section at the top which has the app name. This top section of the app is called as TopAppBar, and this TopAppBar contains these small icons like search, filter, or more actions. These are nothing but actions, which is basically part of the app bar. If you are wondering what are these top app bar and what are these actions, these are basically part of the design concepts in Android called as Scaffold in Jetpack Compose. And Scaffold doesn't just contain the top app bar, it contains more than that. For example, it contains bottom app bar along with the top app bar, and other than that you can have button which is floating on top of the basic central view of the application, and no wonder it is called as floating action button. And all these three things together, that is top app bar, bottom app bar, and the floating action button, are basically called as scaffold. And in the next couple of videos we will try to understand how to integrate a scaffold in our application. And now we will get started with the very first one, which is top app bar. So let's get into a demo. This is the application that you are already aware of it. Let me just run this and show it to you. This is a quite exhaustive list that I have here. Now what I want to do is add scaffold. Before I do that, I want to refactor this particular code. Let me just remove this preview. Let me move this country card to component folder, call it as component package. We already have that package, and let's move that country card there as well. And then I have this main screen. Let me move this as well. I just want to keep this particular thing as lightweight as possible. Once again, refactor, move. Let me call it as screens package. This is not needed. Let me create a late init variable called as country list, which is of type mutable list of country. If you are not familiar with what is a late init is nothing but you want to create a variable which you want to initialize without nullable type, but ensure that you will initialize it before you actually use it. So that's the whole idea behind late init. And now let me initialize country list, get country from JSON, and here you can pass this dot application context and then pass this. And if you see here, make it mutable list of country, and then remove this initialization and then pass country list here. That's it. Let me make it private, and we are more or less done. Yeah, our application is now up and running with the modified code. Now what we want to do is we want to add scaffold. So what I will do is I will go to the project here, and here under the components I will create another Kotlin class file called as country info app scaffold. Now pay attention to what happens. How do you create a scaffold? Just like in Jetpack Compose, every UI element is a composable, even the scaffold is also a composable. So what I will do is I will create a composable function, and under that let me write function country info app scaffold, and under this function, which is a composable function, I will create the scaffold. Now scaffold is a built-in composable type in Jetpack Compose. So what I can write is scaffold, and if you see, it is a lambda function and it takes the padding values. What does the padding values contain? Padding values contains default area which will get reserved for the top app bar in the application. All you have to do is you have to pass this padding values to your whatever the screen that you have designed. So in this case, what I can do is main screen, and of course main screen expects the country list. Now how do we initialize the country list? We can actually initialize it directly from here. So what I can write is where country list is equal to get country from JSON, and then since it is a composable, I can access the context using local context dot current, and that will give me the country list, and I can pass that particular country list as the parameter. And then I want to pass this padding values which can be internally used by the modifier. So what I will do is go to the main screen, modify this so that it can receive the padding values. So inner padding values is equal to is of type padding values, and then pass this padding values to the padding. That's it. And now going back here, I will pass it. It is nothing but the padding values, or what you can also do is write inner padding values just to ensure that you understand it correctly, and pass that as a parameter. This decides the central screen, but what should contain the top app bar? That we will provide here. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.